And we continue on here with League-a-palooza. 2 more fights coming your way next.
Battle up in the first matchup, a couple of black belts, Fritz. You got Gogomoplata from the WEFL taking on Pwnagge from Online MMA.
And then the second fight, Copper from the WEFL taking on Dude Stud, who represents the UOC.
Now, if you look at the belt status here, you almost say, whoa, that's a bit of a mismatch. You got Copper, who is the master white belt, taking on Dude Stud with a purple belt, but you never know what can happen. Anything can happen in these matchups here.
UOC already has a victory so far in League-a-palooza. UFF, a 1 victory as well. WEFL lost 2 of their fights so far. They'll try to get into the game as we continue on. 2 more fights coming your way next year on League-a-palooza.
Take a look at these stats here. You'd notice the first thing on Gogomoplata, he's not going to be worrying about submissions here in this fight tonight.
Definitely not, and that's the one thing that you can look for when it comes to Pwnagge, a guy that's got 278 of his victories by way of submission.
Very impressive. High submission number there for Pwnagge, so you got to believe he's going to look to take this fight to the ground if he so chooses and finish it there, probably with something real pretty and real fancy too.
Yeah, you look at the records for both of these guys. We'll get to that later, but both of them very impressive when it comes to their win-losses so far once they step into the cage.
Pwnagge loves the submissions. We see him coming out now. He's got the blue hair. He's got 278 submissions of his 408 wins, so very big number on submissions. Look for him to pull off something fancy tonight if he can.
Coming up next, here comes Gogomoplata representing the WEFL. Hard luck for them so far at League-a-palooza, losing 2 fights earlier tonight.
They lost by a vicious knockout in their earlier fight, so he's going to look to bring it back. He's got a lot of knockouts and TKOs on his record.
Take a look at the records. Here's what I was talking about. Look at the records here. Gogomoplata, 390 wins, only 105 losses. Then Pwnagge, 411 wins, only 162
Ladies and gentlemen,
losses.
It's showtime. We welcome you to the Rockstar Energy Drink Forum. This fight is scheduled 3 rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. With a background in wrestling, fighting out of the United States, Ryan Stun Gun Carroll.
That is Pwnagge. Spent some time
And
at the
now,
hairstylist before this
introducing
matchup.
his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, trained in the discipline of boxing, fighting out of the Netherlands, the assassin, Sebastian
Gogomoplata.
Vandiver.
Gogomoplata there. You gotta believe he's gonna want to keep this fight up. Pwnagge want to get the fight down.
Get it on.
2 guys are ready to go. Here we go. Continue on with League-a-palooza.
Classic battle of a ground fighter versus a stand-up fighter. Not to say that Pwnagge can't do fine for himself on the feet as well, but he's just a specialist on the ground.
And you can see he's already going for a takedown once there. Remember, as part of League-a-palooza, all leagues get 8 fights. Whoever gets the most wins, they'll get their own broadcast. Be sponsored by their league, and that broadcast will come up on January 26th. We'll have Stephen Quadros as our special guest in studio.
You can see right away, Gogomoplata looks like the bigger fighter here. He looks like the bigger man. He's got some big power in his punches.
Nice kick to the midsection there by Pwnagge.
I like that Pwnagge's hair matches his gloves here tonight.
You're right, though. He is a smaller guy, and I think he's really going to need to get this fight onto the ground.
Yeah, he's tried a couple times for the takedown. Hasn't had any luck yet, but that's just a matter of getting those takedowns set up and timing it beautifully. He's got to wait for Gogomoplata to set his feet and set for a big punch. That's when he's going to go in and get that takedown.
But you got to give credit to Gogomoplata so far for not allowing the fight to get on the ground. He scouted him well. He knows that's one thing that he really has to be on the lookout for.
Absolutely. Pwnagge's taking some shots here so far in this fight. He does not want to take too many because Gogomoplata seems to have some pretty big power.
Huge knee. Big right hand. Let's see if he can finish the fight off here. Looks like Pwnagge is going to hold on, but some of the damage has already been done.
Gogomoplata having nothing to do with being on the ground with Pwnagge. Pwnagge doing a little Brazilian butt scoot there, but Gogomoplata says, nope, we're going to stand it back up. I'm not even going to hang out down here on top of you on the bottom.
Preston hanging out right now in the chat room, easportsmma.com. Jump in there. By the way, we have enough time. We could have a bonus fight coming up later on. And if that's the case, we'll pick a couple people out of the chat room to take part in that bonus fight.
Yeah, so by all means, jump in the chat room, get in Preston's ear. If you get to talking to him, he says, hey, maybe you're the guy. Maybe you're the girl. Maybe you're the person. Maybe you're the individual.
Any other
taking
words you
some
want to put
shots
up
there? No, I just figured I'd pretty much describe everybody. Chicks, dudes.
Nice kick to the midsection again by Pwnagge. He's connected twice on those round-out kicks to the midsection.
That has been his one move he's been successful with so far in this matchup, but you know he's got to get this one down on the floor. Look for a submission. This happens in fights, and we see all the time, you know. You get a guy that's a great... Oh, it's a big shot. He's hurt.
He is really dazed right now. Can he hold on?
He's able to push him off. He's able to push Gogomoplata off, but Gogomoplata all over him with strikes. Pwnagge again looking for that takedown, does not get it. You get a guy that's great on the ground, he just can't get it there, and that ends up not being a good night for him.
And look at Gogomoplata. They're very smart. He wants to keep this fight standing up. That's where he believes he definitely has an advantage. And even though he had him hurt there, he said, you know what? Let's stand it up, and I'll just try to beat you up some more.
Yeah, this is not going so well for Pwnagge so far. Gogomoplata just all over him with them strikes.
Another big knee. He's got that timed right now.
He does. That's a third big knee that Pwnagge has eaten, and Gogomoplata slams him down to the ground.
But this is not where he wants to be necessarily. He's on the ground, and he's going to stand it right back. Oh, no, he goes right back into guard here.
He's going to stand up and just throw down some punches. He's in side control right here, and he's going to go straight to mount. Not a good spot here for Pwnagge at all. Full mount, he's done. That's it. It's over.
Wow, what a finish. Look at the power there on display by Gogomoplata.
As soon as he got that mount, he rained down a few punches, and that was it for Pwnagge. Very tough night for Pwnagge. And look at that, WEFL gets their first big win on the boards.
They needed that victory. They get it right there. I questioned the fight going down to the ground when it came to Gogomoplata, but you know what? He took advantage down there. He had Pwnagge hurt, took advantage, got the full mount, and was able to finish him off.
Yeah, he had no concerns whatsoever about his skills on the ground. He knew he didn't want to play around and fool around on the ground for a long period of time, but Gogomoplata gets down there, and he pounds away at him, and he gets a TKO victory.
I can't help this, but I got to make fun of somebody. Pwnagge, man, disconnecting because you lost?
He hasn't disconnected yet. They said that we got a little, what's that, an exclamation point? Is that what that is? A little Pwnagge waiting. Oh, yes.
See, he disconnected just because he lost. Don't be a don't be a sore loser out there, man. It's tough. And you know what? Even the best loses.
T-Rex Travis Hill says he rage quitted on that one. He lost. I'm done. Forget it. I'm going to eat some ice cream.
Let's all be adults here, okay? Take a look at the numbers here. Look at that. Wow. Impressive, though, on the strikes. 40% of the strikes laying for Gogomoplata.
Even more impressive, only 8% for Pwnagge.
That's not very good when it comes to punches. And we know that's one of the huge factors in why Gogomoplata earned the victory. Put the WEFL on the board here at League-a-palooza. Get ready for the next fight of the night.
And they look to put another win on the board. We got Copper taking on Dude Stud.
And
I have too much heart. There's a reason why I earned this spot.
This should be interesting. You mentioned this prior. We're looking at a white belt master taking on a purple belt. Maybe on paper looks like a mismatch, but you never know until they actually get into the cage.
Yeah, Copper's got 580 wins versus just 166 for Dude Stud. But like we said, anything can happen in these matchups. Now, Copper, like we said, he represents WEFL. Dude Stud is a UOC. So UOC looking to get themselves another win on the board here.
Yeah, it should be very interesting. The one thing also with Copper, wait till you see this man. He has the jaw built out of granite.
He's a handsome devil.
Look at the numbers for these two guys, and when
you look at the numbers, and we can look at Copper. Look at that handsome gentleman. He's a great-looking fighter, I got to tell you.
That's a man that's I don't know, man. I think he's done a couple tour duties or something, man. I'm looking at that, man.
But when you do look at the numbers, they're pretty even across the board.
They really are, especially, health is good. Both guys very similar in just about every aspect. I think
high clinch for Copper. That jumps out.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was going to say, too. But also the record. I mean, the experience factor, almost 750 fights for Copper against almost 300 there by Dude Stud.
He looks experienced, too. Look at his face. You're like, that guy's done things.
He looks like a man that can take a punch.
Yeah.
See if he actually can.
And deliver a punch, too, all while holding a martini.
Here comes Dude Stud coming down to the cage.
Dude Stud, like we said, 166 wins. He's got 46 knockouts, 51 TKOs, and 65 submissions. So pretty well spread on his wins there.
And he's representing the UOC, a league that already has a victory under the belt from earlier tonight. And there's your man.
Look at that chin. Look at Copper. He's like he's got another fist in that chin.
I was surprised the man even smiles.
580 wins of all time.
Once again, look at the records here. You can see the experience factor going in the way of Copper here with almost 600 victories.
He's added a win since the last time we saw him. Copper, he loves to fight. The man loves to fight.
It's showtime. We welcome you to the Rockstar Energy Drink Forum. This fight is scheduled 3 rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner with a background in kickboxing.
That is Dude Stud representing the UOC here tonight.
Is he more of a dude or a stud?
A little bit of both, actually. That chest hair. Just a little bit. Just
and now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. Trained in the discipline of Muay Thai, fighting out of Spain, Carlos Big Daddy Martinez.
Good luck hurting this man to the head. Look at that jaw.
Look at that, Copper.
Here we go.
We should have awards for fighter design. Anybody can make a fighter that has a bald head and a bunch of tattoos, but it takes a special guy to make a guy that looks like Copper.
That is impressive.
Come here, son. Let me show you how to use this gun.
I don't know if he's been in the Army, but I guarantee his chin has been to numb a couple times.
He's one of those guys who just knows how to do everything, like your garage door breaks, he comes over, I'll take care of that for you, don't worry.
Now we got to see if, this guy's a master white belt. We'll see if, in fact, he can live up to that hype. I mean, purple belt for Dude Stud, we wonder about the disparity when it comes to the belts.
We talked about Copper.
Look
we
out.
talked about his clinch work, and you see that in the clinch immediately. He puts down Dude Stud with a few shots in the clinch. Very impressive.
Man, that fight was almost over right there. Dude Stud just holding on here.
You're talking, and I was just watching him. He's holding that clinch and just hitting these shots and these punches and these elbows. I'm like, wow, he really has perfected that clinch work.
I tell you right now, this fight has been all Copper so far, and this fight's not even a minute in. Remember, if the time permitting, we could have a bonus fight coming up, and we'll pick fighters from the chat room at easportsmma.com. If we have enough time, we will pick a couple people out there for a special bonus fight, and Copper's got him in trouble again.
Dude's still looking for the takedown. Copper doesn't even let him get close on that. Double underhooks now for Copper, looking for a throw. Dude's still doing a good job of defending there, but Copper's going to press him up against the cage and work the body a little here.
And there's the big takedown.
Big slam by Copper. Right to the mount. Will he finish his fight off?
Look at that, holding on in position. He's got him up high there.
High mount for Copper, looking to rain down some blows and finish this thing quickly.
This man's got almost 400 victories by way of KO or TKO too. He knows how to finish fights.
Absolutely, he does. He knows how to finish fights.
He's got him in a lot of trouble. Look at the stamina all the way down there on the head for Dude Stud. He is in a world of trouble right here.
And don't doubt that Copper knows exactly where Dude Stud's at right now. He knows if his stamina's low, he knows when he can finish him.
He's got a big cut over his right eye right now. Look at that. That is a nasty, nasty cut.
Copper's uglying him up here. Dude Stud still has a chance to win this fight. Don't count him out as of yet. He's on the bottom right now. He needs to escape out the back door, and he does it right there.
A lot of damage has been done so far by Copper. Big shots. I mean, he's got enormous power.
Couple nice shots there by Dude Stud, trying to come back, get something going here against the master white belt that is Copper. Copper represents the WEFL. He could be their big hitter here.
As they try to get their second victory so far in League-a-palooza.
This one's important because both leagues have a win thus far.
Right.
This next win gets them ahead.
UOC is being, in this one too. That's Dude Stud. He's with that league right there. They've already got a victory from earlier on tonight.
Copper looking to add another victory for the WEFL, able to stuff that takedown. Dude Stud's still in this thing, though. He is not done. Nice block by Copper.
Copper getting a little bit more active here again, and Dude Stud trying to get that takedown. It's not going to happen there,
It's
though.
like you can't even get on Copper. You try and take him down, he just kind of takes a couple steps back and pushes you away. Doesn't even have to sprawl, it's almost like.
He's done a good job so far of really avoiding some big punches here. He just kind of finds his way to, delivers that jab, sets him up, and he goes for some power shots. But he absorbs a big knee right there.
Right to that big chin, a big knee to that big chin.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, you have an advantage when you got a chin like that because you can take a big knee. You can take a big punch.
Do you think Jay Leno would be a champion fighter if he trained?
Quite possibly. He looks more like a pelican, though. Look at that. Nice clinch work here. And
this is where Copper's very good. Look at those elbows right there in the clinch.
This is exactly who he wants to be. He's total control when he's in the clinch. He's got him pushed up against the cage. Dude Stud he's in a lot of trouble here. Look at his stamina's way down there in his head.
He's almost helpless right here. Copper could finish this fight right now.
Oh, he could finish it off. Can he? Look at this. Big shots, lefts and rights. That fight's over, man. There's only so much one guy can take, and that was enough. Big power shots there by Copper, and he totally dominates in this fight.
The clinch was his specialty in this fight. Both times you saw Copper with that clinch. He got him up against the cage. He hurt him. He knocked him down. First time he couldn't finish him. This time, without a doubt, finished him off. Nicely done by Copper. Adds another big win to the WEFL, so they now have the lead. 2 wins to 1. For the UFF and the UOC.
And gentlemen, the winner by way of technical knockout, Carlos Big Daddy Martinez.
Big win there by Copper. An impressive W going into this one. We talked about the disparity in the belt. Would it really play true to form? Master white belt taking on a purple belt. He showed why he earned that master white belt.
Absolutely, for sure. You look at these numbers for Copper, Fritz.
Look at that. Strikes, 54% landing, 76 of 140 strikes, 52% of his punches. He got this fight down on the ground, took care of business, and just took out Dude Stud. The inexperience in this fight, the power difference here, Copper, and he knew he had a good game plan going into this one. He knew that he had an advantage with the clinch and took advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Both times he got that clinch, he did big-time damage. Second time, he was able to finish off the fight and get a big win for the WEFL.
Take a look at the fights from earlier tonight. Gogomoplata getting the W for the WEFL, getting them on the board, knocking out Pwnagge. Pwnagge now, who was representing the online MMA. They're still looking for their first victory here in League-a-palooza. Then the second fight, Copper getting the W for WEFL as he took out Dude Stud.
And that puts WEFL in the lead. 2 wins over. Everybody else is just 1 and 0 so far for the online MMA.
And by the way, we just got word we will have a bonus fight here, so we'll be picking out a couple people in the chat room at easportsmma.com. We'll be back here in just a few minutes with a bonus fight as we continue on here with the live broadcast of EA Sports MMA.